Hey Terrarians, how's it going? My name is Pixelated Fireball, and welcome back to another episode of Pinkymod. So, in the last episode, we took the fight to the desert town of Atid, and we explored the bombed-out ruins of the town, and finally defeated the Sunlight Trader and his gigantic, massive mutant phoenix, fire, vulture, demon bird, whatever that thing was, I'm not sure, but it was terrifying. Not really terrifying, but you know what I mean. It was very cool. I really enjoyed the fight. I thought it was very interesting. It was quite a bullet hell of a fight. Now, we are on to better and brighter things. We used our mineral mirror after that to find, I forget what the name of the ore was. Durendial. It's this stuff down here, which is, I guess, dead vegetation, I believe it said it was. So, also as you can see down here, it sort of indiscriminately spawned in the underground, and it kind of made a little bit of a mess in this as well as our underground jungle, so we're going to have to go down there and fix that at some point. I might end up doing that off camera, because that's not terribly interesting. There you go, that's something new. I did go back and refight the Sunlight Trader a couple more times to make sure I got all the items that he could possibly drop, which was pretty time-consuming and quite expensive, because those eggs are about around, what, 35, I think? 35 gold apiece? Let me double-check here. 25, actually. I don't know if that's originally what they cost, but they were about 35, I think. 25, 35, whatever. They were expensive. So all those together cost me quite a bit of gold, but I did manage to go back and get all the new items. First of all, you'll notice the Dune Shifter Set, which is very interesting. It kind of reminds me a little bit of the Jawas from Star Wars, kind of sort of giving me that kind of look. I guess there's an updated sprite in the works, because it says, no, you do not get the updated sprite yet. I'm assuming at some point it's probably going to end up looking like the Sunlight Trader's armor, which I really hope it does, because he had a really cool looking set. But I'll go over the set. It increases max life and mana by 40. The chest gives you immunity to Sandstorm's Might, which I'm not really sure what that is. I think it might be related to the Sunlight Trader. I'm not 100% certain. But it increases life regen by 2, endurance by 12, and all damage by 20. And the trousers are plus 14 movement speed and increase to max flight time by 0.6 seconds and increases max acceleration speed by 10%. So it gives me even further speed and even further height, which is always wonderful, always fantastic. I love that, can't get enough. So in terms of weapons, the first one I'll show off is the legendary Blade of Dust. I actually had to reforge this. Shoots those projectiles, the sand. I have my DPS meter over there if you want to see. The projectiles themselves do pretty decent damage. Not bad. They do, I don't think they penetrate. It doesn't look like they do penetrate, but still, pretty good damage. Nice and powerful. The next one that I'll show off is actually a magic weapon called the Sunbringer. Oh, I forgot to read the little flavor text here. Gotta make sure we do that. So, the Blade of Dust. Men born in the beautiful and pristine woods grow to love nature and all its blessings. Men born in cities and towns learn the art of socializing and the fruit of teamwork. Then what do men born of dust and sand, that obscures and blinds them, become? Who knows? It's a mystery, but there you go, a little bit of flavor text. Next, like I said, we have the Sunbringer, which is a material. It's used to craft this Xerothermium, which is definitely like near endgame there with some lizard power cells and all that stuff. Very powerful magic weapon, I'm sure. But it says rain solar flares from the sky, like the Sunlight Trader did. I think you remember his abilities where he shot those fireballs down. Very cool. It's in the realms of dunes and sand, the sun brings scorching heat, but when it is gone, it leaves freezing colds. And like the sun itself, those who claim to be a sun for the weak will never have a flawless ideology. It's actually pretty effective. It's a lot like the Lunar Flare. You can cast it from any bit of distance there, so that's probably going to be very good against stationary enemies or very slow-moving bosses. I do have this Mana Catalyst, which further adds a little bit of extra damage to it and a lot more mana. It doesn't drain my mana as quickly as I thought it would. Each cast of it, in each individual cast, I guess you would call it, murder some of those goldfish there because they're right up there with bunnies in terms of evilness. Anyway, each individual cast shoots about 3 of those fireballs down from the sky. So it does a good bit of damage, and it casts a lot. So this volley right here, as you can see, my mana is really going down pretty slowly, and it does a good chunk of damage. A lot more than our Rune Broadsword, finally things that can top it. We saw the Quick Desert Eagle earlier, but I'll actually show off the damage that it can do. Those sunbeams, pretty frequent, and how often they cast. Does a decent bit of damage as well. All these items are up in like the 300s. The next one that I'll show off is the Dune Seeker. I can't really show off its damage because it won't attack target dummies, but I can summon, I believe, about 5 of them. 4 of them, actually. They kind of just float there. I'm not exactly sure what that is, but I'm pretty sure the flavor text, war has changed. Pretty sure that's a reference to Metal Gear. Not sure, you'll have to correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that's what that's referencing. And then finally, the Solar Trace, which I actually got as Unreal, which is pretty crazy. It turns wooden arrows into sun arrows, and it's really rapid fire as well. Bow of an outcasted sunlight traitor. Arrows slung from its string are empowered by the hot flames of vengeance. Revenge is an endless cycle, a tale of transformed lives, lost innocence, and lust for what one thinks is right, ending only in destruction. But who are we to judge? For will we not do the same if all we ever know was pain and suffering at the hands of a mortal enemy? Very dramatic, but like I said, rapid fire doesn't quite do as much damage as the other weapons do, but it does, you know, of course, how can you turn down rapid fire flaming sun arrows? I mean, come on now, that's great. And it penetrates, definitely good for invasions. Another thing, that's pretty much it, but another thing you'll notice is this little item right here, the Godly Valkyrie Yo-Yo, which I actually got from a treasure bag from that guy. This is a hard mode yo-yo with its absolute best affix. And it's kind of game-breaking, because you saw those weapons did about 200-300 damage. This one does up in the thousands. You know, a little bit game-breaking, a little bit overpowered. So I don't know if it's supposed to do that, just something I thought I would mention, that I did get the Valkyrie set as well. I got a couple of dev sets. I got Senex's set, and I got, where is it? Lasers. I'm sorry if I'm butchering that on the off chance you actually happen to watch it. I'm very sorry, but I got that set as well as Senex's set, her wings and all that good stuff, so just some interesting stuff that I got there. I'm not sure if it should do that, but I'm pretty sure that's hard mode stuff. I'm not sure if that's supposed to drop, but it did, so there you go. That's all the new stuff, all the new things. I did get some new lore, but I've been thinking I'm just going to go over all the lore at the end of the video. For those of you that don't want to stick around, they just want to see the main action of the mod. I'll save that stuff for the end. So if you want to listen in and read all over that, hey, I would highly recommend it, because some of it's very interesting, but I will go over all the new lore that I get at the end of the video. That way I don't end up having a 11-minute long intro like I did in the last one. So with all that out of the way, I'm going to go and we're going to mine some of this new ore right here. I don't think I saved it. I did not. So we kind of have to dig a little bit of a hole down here. We have to blow up our precious pit. Oh god, it's horrible. Heartbreaking, but there we go. We fixed it. Get some spatter chunk ore. Dying leaves on a rock counts as ore. What have they been teaching humans nowadays? There goes my little mini sunlight trader just firing off at everything. I guess it just has a general displeasure for all living things or things that resemble living things. That's really cool. I didn't mention that, but I do love armor sets, like the Stardust set, that give you those little minions that follow around. I think that's really cool. He does kind of have this habit, though. I think if you run too far away from him, I'm not sure. He did it earlier. Let's see if I can get him to do it again. But there was something that happened. I don't know if it was a glitch or not, but if I run enough, like far enough away from him, he kind of just flies in circles around me. And I don't know if that's something that he does when there's enemies around or what, but yeah, I have this little group of enemies, or a little group of things following me now. That's what the Dune Seekers do there. They kind of shoot laser beams at things. I did actually test out the effectiveness of all of the weapons on the Old One's army, just to have enemies to attack, to see how they fare against groups of enemies or bosses, and they're very effective, even though I know the Old One's army is pretty undertuned, or a little bit over-prepared for that now. I'm not sure, does this stuff spawn underground as well? Or I think it spawns underground as well, but there is quite a lot of it on the surface. But we will go down. Let's grab a Spelunker potion first before we take off like a moron. Spelunker and some mining, because to get all the stuff that I imagine that it creates, it'll probably be like the speculant ore? I think that's the one. Be like the speculant ore and require quite a lot. It looks a bit like copper, so that'll be a little bit difficult for me to... I don't want to miss anything is what I'm saying, so I'll probably fly past quite a bit of it, but I'll try not to. I will do my best. I make no serious promises, though. I have a habit of being oblivious to things like that. Oh, good. There's a blood moon. That's just lovely. Well, thank God that's happening. Oh, good. Now I'm going to get assaulted by those things again. You know, I already had my bout with you, you know. Oh, God, what is it? Stargazer? Here I was thinking they'd be surface enemies. I guess not. Actually, I think I need... Actually, no, I need a green mushroom. There is a crafting table that I can create. I think it's called a chum station or whatever. A chum stand. Something like that I use to make baits with. And I need green dye for that. There's not a lot of mods or a lot of mods really in general. A lot of any recipes really that use dye. Oh, how about that? Money trough. That's pretty useful. All right. I was literally just thinking, man, I ought to go back up to the surface and go looking for one of those things. See, when you set your mind to it, you channel positive energy. Wonderful things happen. I guess defeating the Sunlight Trader opened up a lot of pits of dead vegetation around here. I don't know what kind of power the Sunlight Trader had that enabled him to have control over the plant life of this land, but I mean, hey, I guess that's, might be some lore explanations there, maybe, perhaps. Maybe. Another trifold map. These guys throw those things at me like crazy. I can't stop getting them. I think in total, overall, since I started playing this, I've gotten about a dozen of those things. Not sure how many I'm going to need altogether. Let's see. Might have been helpful to do that. Okay, so I need 16 of them, and I need sunken gems. So I'm going to have to make a trip over to the ocean. Because they did tell me, the people that are working on the mod, working on the wiki, they did tell me that if I have, like, say, a crab statue or something like that, that the gems are not restricted to the biome themselves. They will drop off of any enemy that is associated with that biome. So, say, for example, I have a crab statue for the aphotic gems or whatever, or maybe a harpy statue, which I'm not sure that I would really want to use, because there's probably, apparently, something terrifying waiting to come eat my face. But they will drop gems regardless. So if I built myself an auto farm, I could probably get a good handful of them fairly quickly. I did save up a lot of traps for my expeditions down here, so hopefully at some point I will come across the correct kind of statue, or some kind of statue. I looked over what I already had, and none of them will really work. They don't drop the items that I'm looking for, so I'll have to do further exploration and see what else I can come across. Those laser beams release quite a bit of light. I'm not really sure what else I expected. I mean, of course they do. I mean, yeah, the laser beams, they light things up. Yeah, that's kind of, okay, that makes perfect sense, really, but hello world. That's new. Something we'll have to add to the list of things to look over later on down the line. Fascinating. No new statues in that house, though. Ooh, minecart rail. And we lost our splunker. Gotta re-up. There we go. I guess it does help that I have what mod is this from, I think is the name of the mod. Helps me identify, differentiate between what is and is not mod related. That was something that was recommended to me as well. I did have it installed, but I never activated it. I don't know why I didn't. I don't know what possessed me to do that, but I mean, hey, there you go. It's on now. Definitely helps. Definitely something that I would recommend. I did have it activated in the last episode, I think you noticed, but I don't remember if I actually listed it in the description. I'm gonna have to go back and look at that and properly update it for consistency's sake. We do have a new boss to face off against now, the Heart of the Cavern, which I'm not sure if anybody tells me about it up top, like the merchant gave me the egg that led me to the desert town of Atid. It looks like you just craft this item, a tainted crystal chunk, and then just use it, and I guess it will teleport you to wherever his boss arena is. I don't know if it... I'm assuming it naturally spawns down here. You just gotta kind of look for it and be lucky enough to find it. Or not. I'm not sure if it's like the Dungeon Constructor's room or not, but we'll have to find out. We will see. Or if it teleports me to another world altogether. Maybe not another world, but another travelable area. Let's use a teleportation potion. Why not? See what it does. Takes me to a far-off, mysterious land that I've never been to. My favorite. I'm looking for peril, and terror, and fear, and nightmare. That's what we're looking for. So far, I have found none. We'll use Danger Sense. Apply Danger Sense. I hear a worm. I don't want to apply worm. Do not apply worm. I can hear it slowly slithering around down there. There it is. Ah. You are no match for my laser beam shooting whatever they are. I don't know what they are, but they're something. They do a thing. A lot of boulder traps around here. I am very glad I didn't end up going this way whenever I started. That also, well, okay, that's a boulder trap, but it does look like TNT. Wouldn't be the first time that 2 traps activated on me at the same time. I just sort of expect that now. This game is not nice sometimes. Very not nice. Ah, the blood moon is over. Fantastic. Ooh, I only had 3 sunken gems, which means we're going to have to take a trip over to the ocean. Because I can't really... It doesn't seem like I can make anything. I can make a couple things, but... Okay, this looks like it has... the actual separate masks now instead of being a hybrid sort of set. It does have separate helms and masks for each different effect. So it looks like the anti-visor is for range, the blindfold is for throwing, the crest is for summoner, the helmet is for melee, and the overmask is for mage. Okay, so we're gonna have to go and we're definitely gonna have to get that set. I don't know if each helmet has different effects based on which helmet it is using, but we'll have to find out. We will find out. But for now, we're going to go on an adventure over to the ocean again. Hopefully that doesn't take too terribly long. Where was the last place I died at? We can use this deathly mirror to transport around quickly. Did I die in the dungeon? No, I died up in the sky, evidently. Where am I? Okay. That's interesting. I do not remember the last place that I died, but alright then. So onward to the ocean. Should have grabbed the battle potion while I was... You know what, I can still do that. I saw another meteorite over there, that's great. We can always mine that up for some more meteorites for our throwing glove, because I think you upgrade these meteors into things that are a lot better, and you can still use this glove later on into hard mode, which is pretty cool. Let's take one of these, and then we'll head over. I will not. I will glide over. I will fall from the skies. I have been summoned on the wings of mutated vultures. I have arrived. It's okay, everyone. I'm here. I'm here to save you. Your savior has returned. He has risen. Hello, witch doctor, Jamundi. Haven't seen you in a while. Okay, he sells jungle spores and stingers. Interesting. Sells all the water fountains, too. It's pretty cool. So, let's use this battle potion. And maybe our minions will be nice enough to kill things for us. That'd be pretty cool, huh? Be pretty neat. Be swell. Right? No? No, I gotta do it myself, huh? Don't be scared. You can spawn. You're allowed. Okay, he's shooting at something. Just drop those down. Let's just rain some fire into the ocean. This makes sense. This is how elements work. I passed chemistry. Barely. Okay, let's see if it killed anything yet. Any gems? Ugh, don't drown. Come on, you have wings. You have no excuse. It looks like the speculant ore decided that it wants to spawn in the ocean, too. I guess it just picks a spot with sand and just kind of throws it in down there. Something to keep note of if you're ever out farming for it. I guess you can come to the ocean and grab some. It's close enough to the desert, right? There's a lot of sand, annoying enemies. It's fine. Everything's fine. Let me out. Saved. Did I actually get a jellyfish necklace from one of those things? My god. Well, that's pretty rare. I already have one, though, but I can use it to make the diving gear. I already made that, though. But that's okay. That's pretty cool. I don't ever see those. Maybe it's just that I'm never in the right area looking for them. I think that's generally my problem with when I can't find them. Oh, God. Was that a communist? That was a dirt communist. They have learned how to swim. It's unacceptable. They're invading our oceans. We must stop the spread of dirt communism. How dare they think that all dirt should be evenly distributed amongst the populace? Pretty sure that's how communism worked, but not with dirt. It was with your things, all of your possessions. In Soviet Terraria, dirt mines you. In Soviet Terraria, boss summons you. In Soviet Terraria, baked fishes you. Is that getting annoying yet? Is that annoying? I gotta spice it up a little bit. What do you want from me? This is farming. I guess I could edit this out, but I talk way too much, and I just think I'm hilarious, so maybe you'll think I'm hilarious too. Probably not. Okay, we got about 133 of those things, plus some extra stuff from over there. That should be plenty to make a good handful of them, I think. So let's craft... Oh, I gotta make the gems first. That's right. Okay, we'll make the gems, and then we will make the bars. All right, we got 80. Should be enough to make a set. Let's see if there's anything else that I can craft. We got the axe, Vengeful Axe. Guess it really just hates its own kind. I mean, hey, I get that. I really do. Sledge stick. Okay. So there is tools that we can use, but let's take a look at that armor. So we'll make the chest guard and the pants, or the, what are they, leafings? Am I running around as a decaying plant monster? That's what I am now. I don't know which of these I should make. I think I can make them all, but right now I guess I'm mostly melee. I guess we'll make that one. And the ranged one, I suppose. Let's equip it, see what it does. So, didn't get to use the Dune Shifter Set for very long, but that's okay. So the set bonus, okay, so we got the helmet, set bonus, when hurt, 50% chance to greatly increase damage stats temporarily. Well, that's pretty useful for me. I do have a habit of getting hit in the face a lot. It does give me quite a substantial amount of armor. What about the anti-visor? Does it do anything differently? Okay. So each helmet does do something different. So with the anti-visor on for ranged, it reduces chance to consume ammo by 20. Hitting enemies with ranged projectiles might heal 2 to 3 HP. Well, let's see. Does it do it? Even with the target dummy? Do I have to be damaged first? Hit. Oh, come on. I was trying to get hit. Did I see? Okay, there we go. There is little numbers coming up. I don't know how frequently it is. There's 1, 2, 3. Okay, so it's decently frequently. Kind of sort of like the Spectre set. That's fine. What about the magic one? Can I make that one? If you open the right chest, you might be able to. Okay, the magic one. Let's make that one. That looks really cool. I like this set. It does have a little bit of an oversized helmet, but that's okay. I think that's supposed to be like that. Little particle effects coming off that. I guess that's the decaying plant particulates there. Great if you are a nocturnal creature. In place of defense, life and mana by 20. Okay, so it doesn't give you as much defense, but it does give you a lot of magic damage and more mana, I guess. Okay, that's the 43 now. What's the set bonus? Reduces mana cost by 10% when in critical health, immunity to mana sickness. Huh. I don't know what I could pair that with to make it really super useful. I don't know. I planned on mostly going melee and ranged for this, so, but we'll get the other helms. I think we can make those. We'll get those, and we will see what, I keep opening the wrong one, but we'll see what they can do. So I have the anti-visor, the helmet, and the overmask. I didn't make the crest yet, or the blindfold. So the blindfold is the throwing one. What does that do? When airborne, deal more damage to enemies on the ground. When on the ground, deal more damage to airborne enemies. That's interesting. So if I stay up in the air, I do more damage. I'm assuming is it throwing damage? Doesn't look like it's made a bit of difference. I think it might just be throwing damage. That would make sense. And then we have the crest. What is that? Increases summon damage by 12, max minions by 3, and life by 25. Okay, so max minions by 3, which means we can summon a lot more of these guys. These Dune Seekers have a habit of sort of stacking up on top of each other. It makes it a little bit difficult to tell how many you actually have summoned. So I think I can make 4, 5, 6. No, I can only make 5 altogether. Insects are discharged upon being hit and dealing summoning damage. Okay, so it's kind of like bees, almost. But instead of bees, it's like plague flies. That's pretty cool. I like that. Very, very cool. So what else can I make with these? I'm sure I can make other things. So a bust of the Sunlight Trader. Dawning Star. I don't actually have a Star Fury. That's interesting. Forged with the Fury of Heaven. This item has lore. Huh. I don't actually have a Star Fury. We're going to have to go fishing for those. It's all the armor sets. We could make a table and chair with it. You know, if you have extra, I suppose. Shatterleaf. Discharges shatter shots upon a hit. So the bow and arrow already. Withered Weef. Yeah, Withered Weef. Withered Weef wings. Wesipe wadded why winky wad. Yeah, okay. Withered leaf wings. I guess you can just make sort of a, if you want that withered look for your leaf wings, I guess that's cool. You know, maybe, why not? Sure, we'll go for that later on. We can make the Stellaris. Turns all arrows into cosmic stars. Cosmic stars, upon colliding with enemies, conjures forth even more cosmic stars. I do have enough Durendile bars. I know I have an Anata Specula. I don't think I have a platinum bow. I think I have all these. I think all I need to do is make a platinum bow, and I should be able to craft that. So let's put that back and see if I can make it. I can craft a Stellaris. Which, by the way, is a pretty fantastic game if you haven't played that before. Powerful Stellaris. Ooh. Whoa, alright. Now that's something. Oh. Well now. How about that? Now that certainly is a lot more interesting than the Solar Trace. I mean, and that does a lot more damage. Oh my god, I'm glad I put that in Recipe Browser. See, that's why you download Recipe Browser, so you don't miss out on stuff like that. Making me want to switch to ranged. Even though I said a long time ago that I'm not a big fan of ranged, but hey, this just uses wooden arrows, and I have nothing but an ocean of stone and all that to craft. So, alright. There we go. I'll have to go fishing for a Star Fury at some point. I might go do that now off camera and then come back whenever I have it made. There might be another Sky Island over here, but I think I've already found pretty much all the Sky Islands that I can find on this map, so I must just not have got lucky enough to get one. I'll do some exploring around, I'll take a look at some things, see how some things go, and then I'll come back whenever I actually have one of those and I can show you what that sword does, because it sounds really cool. Alright, well we're back. We actually got a Sky Crate, which gave us our enchanted sword and allowed us to create the Dawning Star. It's a material. Fire dawn beams that explode upon contact and rain stars from the sky upon enemy hits with the blade. A weapon from the waking world. Now believe it or not, the first affix that it gave me when I crafted it was unhappy, and I was not satisfied with that in any way, shape, or form. That is not going to fly for a weapon as epic sounding as this one. I'm sure it'll be just as epic when we see it, because it looks sort of like the melee variant of the Stellaris, just sort of does the same thing. It shoots this fiery thing here. We'll show you what the full effect is whenever I get over to the target dummy. But I came over to our buddy Dars here and I reforged it, and believe it or not, on the very first reforge, I got it to Legendary. Like, that is some serious luck right there. That is some unusual levels of luck. Going fishing in the first crate I get the sword that I'm looking for, I come back, and then the first reforge I get is the best one. Wish I'd been recording all that. But anyway, let me show you this blade. We'll make sure we have our... I think this is the right one. Okay, we got our melee helmet on. And here's just the projectile. It's not auto swing, but that's a pretty beastly projectile. It does really good damage. It lights things on fire. It lights things on fire, of course, you can't go wrong with that. But when you get up close and actually make sword hits, it rains down those stars like it's a Star Fury. So that's just all kinds of incredible right there. Look at that. That just looks like all kinds of greatness. We got this. We got the Dawning Star. We got the Stellaris. I think we are all primed and set and ready to go with our potions and our new armor and our accessories and everything all ready to go. I think we're ready to go face off against the heart of the cavern in the next episode, because this has gone on for quite long enough, I think. So I'm very sorry that most of this episode was pretty much just me running around collecting things and mining and all that, but I hope you enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. I always love going down and doing a little bit of mining. I don't have any problem with that. But I'm going to call it an episode here, guys, and I will pick it up right here in the next episode, probably starting it off by going and defeating that Heart of the Cavern, who I hear is a very, very challenging boss. So I cannot wait for this next challenge. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for stopping by and checking me out. I really appreciate it. And as always, whatever it is, wherever you are, day or night, I hope you're having a good one of those. And I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.